pounds. You got Nathan Desmond at the top half. Also have Tyler Capusta of Franklin Regional up there. You have Chris Dennis of Central Bucks West and Logan Sallet of Erie McDowell. You have on the bottom half, which has some really good matchup potentials. You got Luke Willishell as well as Carson Wagner and our boy Dyson Gold as well down in the bottom half. You got Caden Williams down there as well. Some interesting matchups here coming up, Jeff.
Yeah, looking at this bracket, I'm just like, geez. I mean, the hits just keep on coming, right? There's no breathing room here at 114 pounds. As far as early round matchups, there's not a ton of early round matchups that I'm looking at that I'm like, you got to get it. I do like the Luke Reeder from Council Rock South versus Chris Kelly match. Those are two guys that have very similar styles and very similar opponents. So I think, and that's a number 12 versus 13. Reeder is 12, Kelly is 13. You look at Capusta. Capusta losing puts him in a good position against Braxton Kiefer, which I believe he'll win that, but he feeds right into Desmond, right? Chris Dennis, on the other hand, winning the Southeast region, has a great draw with Drew Scher, who I believe he'll win that one. Connor Smith, man. Connor Smith and Capusta, you watched that match. You called that match, right? What were your thoughts on that match?
I thought Connor Smith was dominating for about 5.5 minutes of that match, and then Capusta came back late, got those back points to be able to tie the match up and then get the takedown overtime. I honestly thought Connor Smith, outside of take away that last 30 seconds, had a really great tournament.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he had a really good tournament. I thought, I definitely thought him and Capusta could go back and forth, and I'm not surprised by the way it ended. I guess I was a little bit. It was just a weird flurry that last 30 seconds, right? It was just an interesting flurry. But outside of that, you have Logan Sallet of McDowell. He's on that top half as well. He is the kind of like enigma here. He is the guy who I think a lot of people are gonna say, all right, what do we got here with him? He's a senior. He's never placed at the state tournament before. He was a regional fifth last year, state qualifier the year prior to that. He's actually down a weight. And you look at his results for this year. I mean, he's got a lot of big-time results, has a win over Connor Smith. So I think he is locked in, but he's likely going to see Connor Smith in a rematch in that first round. So that to me is a huge first-round matchup should that happen if Connor Smith gets past Isaac Williams. So I really like that one. But outside of that, I think it's going to go pretty much chalk. I think Desmond Capusta and Chris Dennis and that Salad and Chris or Connor Smith match, it could go either way.
I agree. I think it's going to be Desmond Capusta and Dennis. I like Connor Smith over Salad. And just to go one step further, Jeff, to stay on the top half of the bracket, I like Connor Smith to get to the semifinals.
Wow.
From last week and watching him wrestle, I thought he really, again, take away that 30 seconds where Capusta put him on his back to to be able to tie the match. I thought he wrestled really well. Obviously, I like Nathan Desmond to get to the to finals and win the 114 weight class. But that's my top half. I like Connor Smith to get to the semi.
I mean, I shout out to Greg Warnock going out on a limb here. I mean, I like it. I like you mixing it up a little bit. I would say, if you look back at their results, right? It was back in January this year. Yeah, it was early January this year where Sallet beat him 7-6. So really a match that could go either way, right? Sallet has looked. He has looked really good. His only losses are to Pisarcek and to Louis Gill. Beat Connor Smith. Had a big win over Ty Capusta already this year. He that was a big time win for him. Has a win over Nico Finella. So you're looking at his body of work. He's really dialed in. He's really good. Connor's, but maybe not as tested as Connor Smith was. But if you look on transitive property, he has a win over Connor Smith and he has a win over Ty Capusta, right? Ty Capusta just beat Connor Smith, so you would think he's the guy. But Greg Warnock here, maybe a little bit of Whippio bias. I don't know. What is it?
It could be. It could be. I'm going off what I saw from Connor Smith. I thought he wrestled really well. in a match that's a 7-6 score, and you know as well as anybody, just because this person beat this person, that
Oh,
piece of
100,
person beat that person, that doesn't mean that person's gonna win, right? So,
100%.
yeah, and to me, if you take away those 30 seconds, which you can't, but Connor Smith gets that W. So, I don't know. I think here's what I will say though, that I think if you're looking for must-see matches in the top half of 114. It's going to be where Connor Smith is. It's going to be him and Salet. It's going to be him and Dennis. I think those are going to be two fantastic matchups to watch if you're looking for one on the top half of 114.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. The top half is maybe a little bit more wide open, but the bottom half we got to go